Hey guys, Thrasher here, and today we're going to talk about how balance changes need to change. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so we've now gone through a few different balance changes. Our last set of balance changes have been in effect for a little over a week now, so we know generally how they've affected the meta. They have changed the meta, they've changed a few viable characters, they've changed teams a little bit, and they have been powerful. But what I want to talk about is the way that balance changes need to change in the future. In the past, what they've done, what we've seen so far, is they've looked at the top PvP characters and then the least used PvP characters. They've then taken the least used PvP characters and they've buffed them up. That's great. That means those characters are going to show up in the meta a little more. But what they're not taking into account is the fact that the meta is not sculpted by any one specific character in most cases, unless there's an absolutely insane character. Most times the meta is sculpted by specific teams and tags. So what they need to do from now on, rather than looking at the bottom used characters, is they need to look at the bottom used tags and they need to buff up specific unused characters in those tags or some other way to adjust that. Because what's going to happen in the very near future, and we're starting to get there right now, is we're going to get these tags that are so stacked that you're going to have unused characters, not simply because they're bad, but because there's so many other choices that are better that buffing that character won't really adjust the meta. So here's a good example. Right now the Saiyan team is absolutely stacked. If we buff Spirit Bomb Goku and make him an absolute monster, all that does is replace the blues that are there right now. You would either get rid of Super Saiyan Bardock or you would get rid of Fisku and you would throw that blue Spirit Bomb Goku in. It doesn't change the meta at all. It doesn't make other teams adjust. It doesn't really even change the Saiyan team. It just switches out one character. So from here on out, I think they need to find a new way to adjust characters and adjust the balance of characters, teams, to really mix up the meta, or else we're going to see that issue become very prominent in the near future. With that being said, the amount of buffs and the magnitude of the buffing that they've done, I think is good. I think what they've done to buff the specific characters that they buff has been a legitimately powerful effort. I think it's helped the meta so far. I think they just need to tweak the way that they select specific characters rather than tweak the actual buffs themselves. I think those are in a good spot. Outside of that, we can talk about characters that need to be buffed, but as I was saying before, one thing you'll notice is the large majority of characters that need to be buffed are Saiyans right now, and the Saiyan tag does not need a buff. It is with the exception of maybe one other team, it is the top meta team right now. So as we buff these other Saiyan units in the next set of balance changes based on the way they've been selecting units to buff them before, you're just going to make the best team even better. That's just something the developers need to account for, and I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping they understand that. And that's really all I want to cover in this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, characters that are not at the very bottom that you think also need buffs or the way they need buffs, throw it in the comments and let's talk about it. And if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.